In the modern corporate world of elite football, the summer transfer window is usually this highly calculated PR-filtered exercise. Billion-dollar clubs want safe, predictable assets. But every once in a while, a manager wants an absolute renegade, someone who thrives in pure, toxic chaos. Just hours ago, Chelsea completely detonated the transfer window. They signed 21-year-old Argentinian midfielder Valentin Barco for $65 million. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it's because this is the exact same guy who was physically slopped by Jude Bellingham during that historic World Cup clash. English football is officially on high alert. Let's dive into exactly how Chelsea hijacked the biggest bad boy of the World Cup.
To really grasp why this transfer is causing an absolute firestorm right now, we have to look back at the psychological scars from that World Cup semifinal. Remember that match? Trailing deep into the game, Argentina pulls off this heart-stopping stoppage-time comeback to knock out Thomas Tuchel's England. But, it wasn't the goals that broke the internet. It was what happened the very second the final whistle blew. Valentin Barco, who was subbed on late just to provide some tactical depth, sprints straight past his own celebrating teammates. He plants himself directly in front of the devastated English bench. Operating with just unfiltered arrogance, he starts taunting the Three Lions players right to their faces. The disrespect was so extreme that Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid's golden boy, completely lost his cool and slapped Barco right across the face before anyone could separate them. Pundits were calling it the worst example of sportsmanship in modern World Cup history. But while the media was demanding heavy bans, Chelsea's manager, Xabi Alonso, he saw the exact psychological profile he needed to rebuild Stamford Bridge.
And the fallout off the pitch was just as explosive. It immediately spilled over onto social media. Barco's girlfriend actually jumped in to defend him, directly insulting Bellingham. She posted, "Let the football do the talking," and finished it with the word muerto. Now, literally, that translates to dead in Spanish. But in this context, it's a massive insult. It basically means useless or a nobody. And when she got criticized for it, she doubled down, saying it's perfectly fine to celebrate and calling out people for defending aggressive behavior. So what we have here is an incredibly volatile, emotionally charged player completely wrapped in controversy. But where the rest of the football world saw a walking PR disaster, Chelsea's ownership saw an opportunity.
Part 1. From toxic chaos to calculated genius, Chelsea's financial takeover. So, shifting from the emotional wreckage of the World Cup to the clinical corporate boardrooms at Chelsea, the first domino falls perfectly. Transfer guru Fabrizio Romano dropped his famous "Here we go," confirming the 21-year-old is officially moving from Blue Coast sister club Strasbourg to Stamford Bridge. We're talking a permanent 6-year contract, locking him down until 2032. This wasn't some sudden panic buy either. This was a highly calculated pipeline move, leveraging their multi-club model to parachute a targeted asset straight into the Premier League.
Because let's be real, Todd Boehly and the Chelsea board are completely done settling for a simple top 4 finish. They are funding a hostile corporate takeover of the league. Just days after shattering the British transfer record with a mind-boggling $225 million swoop for Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers, they just casually drop another $65 million to pluck Barco from Strasbourg. We are witnessing record-breaking investments purposely designed to just completely overwhelm the competition.
But here's what's truly staggering: the sheer scale of the financial risk. £262.4 million. That's Chelsea's record-breaking English football pre-tax loss for the 2024-25 season. To put that into perspective, when you stack those massive losses on top of these new summer signings, the financial fair play critics are absolutely melting down. The external pressure on this ownership model is just astronomical right now.
And this next number is the real kicker: £1.5 billion. Even though they had the highest transfer sales in Premier League history last summer, this new ownership group has still spent a staggering £1.5 billion in overall transfer outlays since taking over in 2022. They are spending at a rate that we literally thought was impossible, which begs the question: why take such a massive financial and PR risk on a guy like Valentin Barco?
Part 2. The Xabi Alonso Blueprint. Method to the madness.
To understand the genius behind this, we have to look at the data, because there is an absolute method to this madness. The key here is that Barco is a total positional anomaly. Look at his origins on the left. He developed as this explosive, attacking left back. But on the right, you'll see how his elite scanning, awareness, and his ability to dribble in super tight, microspatial areas let him seamlessly transition into a fluid central pivot. He essentially gives Xabi Alonso elite cover in 2 or 3 different slots, without forcing the manager to lock him into one single role from day one. He is, quite literally, the ultimate tactical Swiss Army knife.
And his underlying numbers? They are downright terrifying for opposition defenses.
He sits in the 96th percentile for progressive passes received, and the 96th percentile for progressive carrying distance under pressure. He doesn't just safely pass the ball sideways. He actively uses his carrying ability to drag defensive structures completely out of balance. He'll take the ball directly through the teeth of a defensive mid-block, completely shattering the opponent's shape, all while operating as an elite central midfielder or a left-sided number 8. So, Xabi Alonso isn't just buying a bad boy. He's buying a highly advanced tactical engine.
Part 3. The new Premier League threat. So, what does this all mean? Chelsea is taking the raw, chaotic energy of Valentin Barco and plugging it straight into a highly sophisticated, data-driven machine. We've seen the unbelievable World Cup drama, the physical altercations, the billion-dollar financial outlays, and the elite tactical metrics all converge right here. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. In a highly sanitized era of corporate football, where every move is PR tested and every player is media trained to perfection, is weaponizing pure, unadulterated chaos the ultimate masterstroke? By fusing a toxic, ultra-aggressive on-pitch mentality with clinical financial analytics, Chelsea might just be rewriting the entire blueprint for conquering English football. Keep your eyes on Stamford Bridge this season. It's going to be explosive.